The deepest betrayals often come not from enemies, but from those who call themselves friends. You know the type smiling to your face while subtly eroding your confidence behind your back. They feign care, but their actions drain your energy, dim your light, and keep you small. These are frenemies, wolves in sheep's clothing. Unchecked, they can sabotage your peace for years, leaving you questioning your own instincts. Today, I'll reveal 5 unmistakable signs you're dealing with a frenemy and why cutting them out isn't just an option, it's a shield for your soul. These aren't guesses or internet cliches. They're patterns psychologists see in toxic bonds. This is about real patterns psychologists observe in toxic relationships. If you've ever felt a sting in your gut after talking to someone who claims to be your friend, this video is for you, because your inner peace is priceless. Your growth, your calm, your resolve deserve protection. Grab a drink, settle in, and let's face the truth together. If this resonates, hit like, subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment below about your experiences with two-faced friends. Let's expose the deceivers and build relationships that are strong, peaceful, and truly deserved. First, understand the frenemy. The cruelest betrayals don't come from open foes, but from those posing as allies. They hide their malice behind smiles, fake concern, and polished charm. You think they're in your corner, but they're quietly working to keep you down. In truth, they're playing a long game, chipping away at your self-assurance day by day. You start doubting every choice, wondering if you're too sensitive or imagining things, but you're not. A frenemy pretends to uplift you while secretly tearing you down when it matters most. They're masters of disguise, reading the room and shifting their behavior. Alone, they praise your creativity and cheer your ideas. But in a crowd, their support vanishes, replaced by subtle jabs that make you look foolish or unprepared. You might share a bold idea and hear, "That's brilliant," yet in front of others, they smirk and say, "It's an idea, but maybe not practical," planting seeds of doubt without owning the blame. This two-faced game isn't random. It's a calculated move to keep you off balance. The more you question yourself, the less you question them. A careless comment here, a half-hearted compliment there. It seems minor, but it's deliberate. When you confront them, they play innocent, claiming you misunderstood or that wasn't their intent. This is gaslighting, a subtle abuse that clouds your clarity like a creeping fog, making you doubt your own reality. Picture this. You're leading a community project, pouring hours into planning, rallying volunteers, securing funds. In private, they praise your vision, saying they admire your leadership. But in the boardroom, they highlight flaws you never discussed, painting your work as reckless or naive. You leave those meetings feeling diminished, embarrassed, and worst of all, betrayed. This is the hallmark of a frenemy. They don't aim to help you grow, but to stunt your progress just enough to keep you from outshining them. Their goal is to keep you in their shadow. Their approval is conditional, their criticism calculated. They thrive on a power imbalance, where you lean on them for validation. Over time, this erodes your trust in your own judgment, handing your confidence to someone who least deserves it. This isn't just annoying, it's dangerous. The Stoic philosophers saw this clearly. Epictetus warned, "If someone provokes you, know, your mind plays a part in that provocation. You're not to blame for their cruelty, but you control your response. Recognizing their game is your first step toward freedom. You don't need to fight on their terms. You see through them and refuse to be drawn in. The Stoic approach doesn't mean shutting out others. It means not letting them define your worth. When someone acts one way in private and another in public, don't make excuses for them. Accept the truth they reveal through their actions. Don't try to fix them, set boundaries instead. Limit what you share. Reduce your exposure, or in some cases, cut them out entirely. This isn't cruelty, it's self-respect. True friends don't shrink you or sow doubt for their own gain. They're consistent, whether you're alone or in a crowd. True friends don't blame you for reacting to their cruelty. They want your success, even when it doesn't benefit them. Facing the reality that someone you trust is working against you is painful, but that pain clears the way for honest, respectful connections that uplift you. You can't control whether others choose manipulation, but you can refuse to play their game. Build your character, sharpen your clarity, and don't let their duplicity shake you. This is the Stoic strength standing firm in your values, unshaken by betrayal. Stoicism doesn't promise a life free of pain or betrayal, but it equips you to face them without crumbling. It reminds you that your worth is yours to guard. Spotting these two-faced signs early lets you reclaim your peace sooner, fortifying your path to self-mastery. If this hits home, drop. I see it in the comments below. Your voice matters, and I want to hear it. As we move to the next sign, competitive sabotage, we'll uncover how these frenemies don't just undermine you privately. They actively work to dim your success while pretending to cheer. The next sign reveals how far a frenemy will go to keep you from rising above them, and how Stoic wisdom helps you stand tall against their covert hostility. Let's dive into competitive sabotage, one of the most toxic traits of a frenemy, and learn to shield your progress. This isn't healthy competition that sharpens both sides. True rivalry pushes you to grow, celebrating each other's wins. But a frenemy sees your success as their loss, a threat to their ego. They don't compete to improve, they sabotage to keep you beneath them. Their sabotage isn't blatant. It's cloaked in concern or advice, designed to erode your confidence. Imagine you're eyeing a major promotion you've earned through years of grit. You share your excitement with a trusted friend, expecting support. But they plant seeds of doubt instead. They nod gravely, warning you about office politics or how you're not quite ready. By the end, you're second-guessing your ambition. Their words don't clarify, they confuse. Not out of care, but to stall you. It's sabotage. Subtle, yet deliberate. To keep you from outshining them. You think they're being honest, maybe even wise. But look closer. Their advice doesn't build you up, it dims your fire. Their goal is to make you hesitate, to keep you from surpassing them. It's easier for them to dampen your drive than to face their own insecurities. This sabotage extends beyond words. In shared projects, they slack, showing up late, unprepared, or leaving you to clean up their mess. You look incompetent by association, while they preserve their image, or they promise feedback for a big pitch, then deliver last-minute changes that throw you off. When you achieve something worth celebrating, they can't muster genuine praise. Instead, they downplay it, saying the role isn't that prestigious or implying you had an unfair edge. They always position themselves just above you. undermining your moment to feel bigger. The pain cuts deep, not just from their words, but because you trusted them. You expected their support, and their betrayal stings like a blade. Worse, it's hard to prove each slight can be excused, making you feel paranoid for calling it out. This traps you in a toxic cycle. Stoics teach us to see these tactics as external threats to our inner peace, not chains we're bound to. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you'll find strength." That's the key to overcoming competitive sabotage. Control what you can. You can't stop their insecurity or need to undermine you, but you can choose your response. First, trust your gut. Those uneasy feelings aren't paranoia, they're warnings. Notice when someone consistently dims your joy or sows doubt, just as you're about to take a bold step. Once you see the pattern, stop playing their game. Share less about your plans and goals. Don't give them ammunition. Pursue your ambitions, regardless of their realistic warnings. Apply for that promotion. Chase your vision. And judge feedback with clear eyes, not their clouded lens. Protect your peace by setting firm boundaries. You don't always need to cut them off, but redefine the relationship. If they can't handle your success, they don't deserve a front-row seat to your dreams. Guard your plans and keep their influence at arm's length. Here's the hard truth. A frenemy doesn't sabotage you because you're unworthy, but because your potential threatens them. Their actions reflect their insecurities, not your value. When you stop shrinking to ease their discomfort, you reclaim your power and rise above. True friends compete in ways that lift you up, not tear you down. They push you to be better, cheering your wins as their own. They don't see your success as a loss. A frenemy, though, is a weight dragging you back, unable to stand your growth. Next, we'll see how frenemies weaponize their support, offering help with strings attached. This conditional aid drains your emotional strength, binding you to their terms. It's a subtle trap, but recognizing it empowers you to break free and protect your peace. What about you? Have you faced this kind of subtle sabotage in your life? Drop a comment and share your story. Together, we'll shine a light on these toxic patterns and break free. Now, let's dive into the third sign, conditional support. A hallmark of a frenemy. Real friendship is built on trust and unwavering support, not scorekeeping or convenience. But a frenemy plays by different rules. Their help always comes with a cost calculated, transactional, designed to keep you indebted and off balance. This isn't loyalty, it's manipulation in disguise. Consider a client of mine, Lisa, and her so-called best friend, Jenna, from college. They seemed inseparable trips, dinners, deep talks. But over time, Lisa noticed a pattern. When she faced hardship, like a job loss or her father's passing, Jenna vanished. Calls went unanswered, texts ignored. Yet, when Lisa landed a new job or got invited to a high-profile event, Jenna reappeared, all smiles, eager to bask in the glow. She'd pose for photos at Lisa's promotion party, soaking up the spotlight. But when Lisa needed a late-night confidant, Jenna was nowhere to be found. It took years for Lisa to see the truth. Jenna's support was only for show, tied to her own image. When Lisa set boundaries, questioning Jenna's absence in tough times, Jenna played the victim, wielding past favors like a weapon to guilt Lisa into loyalty. Jenna would remind Lisa of the time she hosted her bridal shower or helped during a vacation, implying Lisa owed her unwavering devotion. This is the trap of conditional support. Every favor comes with invisible strings, and they're quick to pull them when you step out of line. You start questioning if you can ever say no, weighed down by all they've done for you. They remind you of every favor, ensuring you feel indebted. This toxic dynamic turns you into an emotional servant, prioritizing their comfort over your own boundaries just to keep the peace. You convince yourself you're being a good friend, but you're really dodging their punishment, silent treatment, withdrawal, or guilt trips. True friendship doesn't keep score. Healthy bonds have a natural give and take, trusting that balance comes with time, not obligation. You don't need to prove your worth to earn their presence. You don't have to stay small, grateful, or dependent to keep their loyalty. Conditional support is dangerous because it's not obvious at first. It feels generous until you see the hidden cost tied to their kindness. Over time, you grow used to their inconsistency, hesitating to ask for help unless you're ready to pay a price. The Stoics teach that your peace should never be held hostage by another's whims. Marcus Aurelius said, "Wake each morning grateful to live, think, enjoy, and love freely." That includes giving and receiving love without strings. When someone turns support into a transaction, they violate your dignity. To counter this, first, spot the pattern. Don't excuse their absence in your struggles as mere busyness when it's a recurring choice. Second, refuse to trade your peace for their approval. You don't owe them emotional labor for their presence. Their withdrawal is their choice, not your fault. Don't let them guilt you into sacrificing your mental strength when they only show up when it suits them. Third, set boundaries without apology. Limit what you share and give. Don't feel obligated to include them in your life's big moments if they haven't earned your trust. You can be civil, even kind, without letting them into your most vulnerable spaces. Above all, cultivate Stoic resilience. When you stop relying on external validation for your worth, their manipulation loses its grip. Become the friend you seek, steadfast, loyal, generous, without strings, and you'll attract those who live the same way. Recognizing conditional support doesn't make you cold or unkind. It makes you honest. It frees you from years of emotional servitude, restoring your right to ask for help without debt and to celebrate wins without guilt. If this resonates, drop "I see it" in the comments. Your voice matters, and I want to hear it. Next, we'll explore how frenemies turn your trust against you, collecting your secrets only to weaponize them later. This betrayal cuts deep, and spotting it early is crucial to guarding your dignity and peace. Picture the moment something great happens. You land a big deal, secure your dream home, or get a clean bill of health after weeks of worry. Your instinct is to share that joy with those you trust most, expecting them to celebrate with you, to affirm your hard-earned victory. That's what friendship should be, a safe space to revel in your wins. But with a frenemy, you get the opposite: cold distance instead of warmth, criticism instead of cheers. Share your new home, and they'll trash the neighborhood or warn you about shady landlords. Boast about a sales record, and they'll one-up you or downplay it, saying numbers don't matter. This isn't accidental. It's a deliberate tactic to shrink your joy, to make your wins feel small so they don't feel lesser in comparison. It's sabotage dressed as concern. I recall a client who earned a prestigious award after years of unrecognized grind. She shared her excitement with a supposed friend, only to get a thin smile and a lecture on how awards are just politics, or how others deserved it more. She left feeling ashamed for celebrating. That's joy stealing in its purest form, not a social misstep, but a calculated refusal to share your happiness. For them, your win is their loss, exposing their stagnation or insecurities. Instead of facing their flaws, they dim your light to feel better about themselves. Psychologists call this joy stealing, a profound wound in relationships. Your milestones matter. They validate your struggle. When someone denies that, they plant seeds of self-doubt, chipping away at your confidence in your own achievements. Over time, you hesitate, qualifying your good news or downplaying your wins to avoid their judgment. You might even stay silent, fearing their sting. This isn't trivial. It's a deep cut to your self-worth, making you feel your success is a burden or your pride is arrogance. The Stoics remind us we can't control others' reactions, but we command our own. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." The pain isn't just their words, it's how we let them shape our view of our victories. Don't let their insecurity become your judge. First, recognize the pattern. You can't change their envy, but you can refuse to let them dictate your joy. Keep your wins close if they can't honor them. Share with those who'll clap loudly, who take pride in your growth without seeing it as a threat to their own. If you must keep them in your life, work, family, or shared circles, manage them with clarity. Don't invite them into your inner circle where your biggest moments are shared. Protect your joy, and don't let them turn your triumphs into shame. You've earned your victories. Ask yourself the tough question: do you struggle to celebrate others' wins? Do you feel a twinge of envy, tempted to point out flaws in their plans or warn of risks? The line between victim and perpetrator can blur if you're not honest with yourself. A true friend sets aside their insecurities to honor your moment. They show up, cheer without strings, and create space for your light to shine. They know joy isn't a limited resource to be hoarded. It's abundant, enough for everyone to share. When you spot those who can't or won't celebrate with you, your job isn't to fix them. Your duty is to protect your peace. Embrace your wins, and share them with those who genuinely want your success. You deserve to stand tall in your achievements without apology. As we wrap up these warning signs, reflect on what you've learned. Spotting a frenemy isn't about distrusting everyone. It's about seeing the patterns that drain your spirit and steal your calm. Next, we'll focus on setting real boundaries to reclaim your space from these silent saboteurs. If you've faced this joy-stealing or struggled to celebrate your wins because of others' reactions, share your thoughts below. Let's name these patterns and build stronger, truer bonds. If you're nodding, feeling that knot in your chest, recognizing these signs, hold fast. You're not overreacting. You're awakening. You're seeing the truth that sapped your strength for too long. It takes courage to admit someone you trust is undermining your peace. But this realization is a gift. You don't have to play their role or stay polite at the cost of your clarity. Choose clarity over confusion, strength over compliance. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we control. You decide who enters your heart, mind, and inner circle. Start today. Draw those boundaries. Say no to those who harm your joy and worth. And yes to those who truly uplift you. This isn't cruelty, it's freedom. You deserve relationships that are safe, honest, and supportive. You deserve to share your successes without shame, to ask for help without owing debts, to live authentically without fear of sabotage. Stand firm in your value. If this video opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Hit like, subscribe for more insights to build stronger, healthier bonds, and share with someone who needs it. Comment below. Tell me which sign hit you hardest. Let's talk and grow together. Your future self will thank you for every boundary you set today. Build a life surrounded by those who cheer your victories and stand by you in defeat. That's the path to self-mastery, emotional control, and a life of unshakable peace.